Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And that's your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hey folks, welcome back. For the Daily Wire. Oh boy, wait to hear this stuff. Hillary hits Americans as gullible. Didn't really appreciate Biden's extraordinary accomplishments. I mean, can you believe this one? Can you really, truly believe it? Oh, there's a stunning photo. I'll tell you what. Even the people that don't like Donald Trump should just look at that picture and think about this for a moment. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, she would be president of the United States. Yep. Let's read on. Failed Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton painted American voters as gullible during a recent interview on MSNBC. Well, of course. MSNBC said they failed to appreciate the alleged, I like the alleged part, extraordinary accomplishments of President Joe Biden's administration. I got to tell you, just the first paragraph here, there's enough horse, to fill up a barn. Let's read on. Clinton told MSNBC host Rachel Maddow that figures in the Republican Party, wait for it. Oh, I gotta highlight it. They just want power to impose their views, power to exploit financial advantage, and power to implement a religious point of view. Now, in all fairness, what do they call that? This is a classic, high-end, but classic version of deflection. The Democrats, especially now the progressive ones, are the worst. They deflect everything. And what that is, those people that don't know, is what they're doing and thinking, they blame their opponents for doing the same thing when they're doing it. It's called deflection. It's a very common human psychological trait. A lot of people got, I think, kind of frustrated looking at the messy process of legislation. It's always been that way. Nobody wants to see how the sausage is made, is the way it goes. And they really didn't appreciate that within a year, the Biden administration had passed two major pieces of legislation through both the House and the Senate. Well, they control them both. And all it was giving away a ton of money we don't have. They passed another major piece through the House that will soon be in the Senate, Clinton said. By any measure, those are extraordinary accomplishments. No, they're not. Giving away a whole bunch of money to a whole bunch of people, they still had a hard time even with their majority. And they really will help many Americans with health care and prescription drug prices, as well as climate change and so much else. What a lie. The climate changing isn't a lie. That's not the lie part. We can discuss back and forth who contributes to climate change. Is it nature? Is it human? We can go back and forth, and that's fine. But they want climate change as a way to control things, the way to say no and control just the energy sector and the economy and on and on and on. God, these people are so... I'll say my favorite saying. These people suck so bad. Because of the way we're getting information today and because of the lack of gatekeepers and people who have historic perspective, gatekeepers, you control 90% of cable news. You control 100% of social media. Gatekeepers? Are you kidding me? CNN doesn't put out a story like the other day they put out a hit piece about Kamala Harris. Now, they wouldn't have put that out unless they got permission from the White House to do it. So gatekeepers, what are you, out of your mind? Who can help us understand what we are seeing. There's a real vulnerability in the electorate to the kind of demagoguery and disinformation that, unfortunately, the other side is really good at exploiting. Oh, my God. What a huge pile of horse. Unbelievable to me. Misinformation. How about 15 days to stop the spread? How about Russian collusion? Why don't we start with Russian collusion and all the other stuff that tied up a president for 2 years, which was the whole point, by the way. He had 2 years with the quasi-Republicans. Half of them were on his side, half of them weren't. And then when they lost in the midterms, all that stopped. And then came Russian collusion, Russian collusion. He's this, he's that, he's a dictator, he's a monster, he's this, he's putting kids in cages, he's blah, 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 blah. That was all misinformation. Even Adam Schiff, that piece of, said the other day, well, we didn't know that all the information coming from the former British spy was incorrect. We just believed him. But no collaboration. That's the one where he said Trump got peed on by prostitutes in Moscow. I mean, give me a break. And I love Trump's answer to it, by the way. And this is like classic Trump. He says, you know that has to be wrong. And the guy said, why? I'm a wicked germaphobe. You got to love it, man. That's why they hate this guy. He doesn't care. You said it is sobering that many people are unsurprised at what occurred last week, meaning January 6th. Particularly people of color, for whom a violent mob waving Confederate flags and hanging nooses is a similar sight in American history. Oh, my God. The January 6th riot had nothing to do with race. And the Confederate flags that were there, and there was only a couple, had nothing to do with slavery. I didn't see any hanging nooses. Could you find one? I'll give somebody $100 if they can show me and verify a picture from that rally and that speech that Trump gave and later the riot that has a noose with a Confederate flag. I'll give somebody $100. I don't mean photoshopped. I mean the real deal. I've been thinking about a lot about that recently. I bet you have. I mean, on one hand, we have what feels like an emergency going on. We have an extremely large part of the right promoting and excusing political violence, while at the same time, they're trying to discredit our political system, our electoral process. Oh, my God, are you kidding me? You want to add senators. You want to get rid of the Electoral College. You want to ignore federal laws. You want to ignore federal judges. You want to stack the Supreme Court. Discredit our political system? Are you out of your mind? Unbelievable. Excusing political violence? The billions and billions and billions of dollars in destruction last summer? In 2020, for those of you watching this later? By Black Lives Matter and Antifa and God knows what else? A couple dozen people killed? Tens of thousands of lives ruined forever? Excuse violence? The mostly peaceful protest while the CNN guy was standing there while this huge building is burning down saying it's mostly peaceful? That's like the iconic clip of the century. Message from the right that doesn't work and violence is okay. That is a recipe for disaster. I mean, this is deflection on a world-class scale. But on the other hand, we keep talking about that as an unprecedented threat. And to me, it doesn't feel unprecedented. I mean, through the lens of how people have color, have lived in this democracy, the reflection of political mechanisms, choosing violence instead of fair political contests. I don't even want to go into what happened last year about fair political contests. That's the history of how people of color have been treated in this country over and over again. I feel like they've been trying to make that point aggressively. What the hell does a riot have to do with people of color? These people are nuts. Just like Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist. Nobody involved in the shooting was black. But they're saying this is white privilege, and that's how white people think, especially white young men, that they have this privilege to do anything they want to, and just happens to be the people that he shot were white, but they could have very well been black because he thinks he feels he can do whatever he wants to, wherever he wants to. My God, my God. Yeah, I'll just breeze through the rest of this. You can check it out. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. Democracy is messy. Oh, Lord. Through the last paragraph. It's because of the way we are getting information today and because of the lack of gatekeepers and people who have historic perspective who can help us understand what we are seeing, there is a real vulnerability in the electorate to the kind of demagoguery and misinformation, unfortunately, the other side is really good at exploiting. These people suck so bad. So bad. You know, I had some respect for her husband. I thought he actually was a decent president, still do. He wasn't extraordinary, but considering what such how low the low bar is. And I met Bill Clinton once. Got a picture with him. Back in his last few months as president, he came to upstate New York here in Binghamton when his wife was running for the New York State, or I should say the U.S. Senate to represent New York. My God. Extraordinary accomplishments. I don't understand. I'm still torn. I shouldn't be. Whether these massive pieces of actually believe this stuff or they know it's BS and they do it for politics. I'm slowly but surely leaning over to the side where these people actually believe this stuff. And that makes them much more dangerous. They're zombie cult members that spout the same rhetoric and the same talking points and deflect everything they do onto the people they don't like or they disagree with. My God, my God. The Democratic Party was never perfect by any means, and I was a member of it a long time. Even as a local elected official in the early 2000s. I'm not anymore, of course. But they were savable. I don't think they're savable anymore. They keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And there's nothing left. There's nothing left. I wouldn't mind so much the Democratic Party crashes and burns, but it's causing huge harm to the American people, the things they're doing now. I don't know. How do you talk to somebody that's convinced the world is flat? And no matter what you do, they won't believe you. And even worse, these same flat earthers are running the country. Boy, oh boy. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.